Hello, I'm Alex Jones, and I'm a radio and television host based in Austin, Texas. And for many years, I've been exposing criminal activities of the global elite, also known as the New World. In past films, we've documented the centralization of power, the move towards government, the attack on the nation state, self-defense, Second Amendment, family values, that is, the family itself, as well as private property rights. But time and time again in my research, I come, well, eye to eye with something that's even hard for me to believe. And that's that the elite, again, the so-called establishment kings, those that know best, the visions of the anointed one, are obsessed with the occult. Presidents to governors to the heads of industry. We've all seen the stories of presidents and first ladies obsessed with their astrologers, making national policy decisions upon their recommendations. Spiritual guides, shamans in the White House. My friends, it gets far worse than that. Now, I personally am a Christian, but even an atheist should be concerned about the information we're about to bring forward in this new documentary film, Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. You see, for over 120 plus years in California, in Sonoma County, a 2,700-acre secluded redwood grove, leaders from around the world, prime minister, chancellor, presidents, governors, again, the heads of industry, banking, academia, the media, Hollywood, only a select few, over 2,000 people, travel there, engage in bizarre, ancient Canaanite, Luciferian, Babylon mystery ceremonies. At least that was the rumors. So I went to the library and got on the internet and saw many of the mainstream news articles admitting that world leaders do indeed go there, and they fly into San Francisco and other surrounding cities and drive out into the hills and mountains of California, and that these stories have been coming out that they worship some 45-foot stone owl god. And then I began to read some of the documentation on this Moloch character, the Old Testament, mentioned many times in Leviticus. That's in the Bible. Why are world leaders traveling to the middle of nowhere to worship this? I had to check it out for myself. And I'm proud of my team. Mike Hansen, Violet Nichols. They traveled with me there, talked to some of the locals discreetly, successfully infiltrated, help of some of the locals and Channel 4 under British television that kept up with us. And I successfully infiltrated through the Secret Service, through the guards, Sonoma County Sheriff's Department. We were inside 4 hours. That's only one day out of the 2 weeks that they meet there for the admitted Summer Fire Festival of the Bohemian Club. Well, basically that's enough for me. It's hard to even describe it with words. And I hope that our hidden cameras can give you a small piece of what I witnessed. To have world leaders engaging in this type of sickening behavior. Yes, there's much more to come. Mock human sacrifices, they claim, just shocks the very foundations of what Americans believe their leaders to be. And then to have it intimately connected to government doesn't make a lot of sense until you research history. All throughout history, spanning back into the beginnings of civilization, we see world leaders from the empires of old, from the Aztec kings and priests to Babylonian leaders, ancient Rome, engaging in twisted behavior. Could it be that when you have all the power, all the women, and all the money, and all the lands, and all the art, you have to do something, you have to go against the basic grain of humanity, you have to get off in a sick way? That's what we witnessed in California, 5/15, 2000. Get ready to go inside Bohemian Grove. The The Bohemian Club, as it's known today, was founded in 1873 in San Francisco in Northern California. Many of the club's annals, dating back to before the turn of the century, admit that local artists, writers, papermen, name it, wanted a place away from the so-called backwardsness of the West Coast. Judeo-Christian ethic. They found that place an hour and a half north of San Francisco, outside of the tiny town of Monterrey. Their annals even admit an obsession with the occult and what they called druid rituals. Amongst the great redwood trees, they revived ancient ceremonies that in truth had their roots not in the Druids, but in Babylon itself. As the railroads brought commerce, larger and larger population, prestige of the club grew until 2000, gathering place, world establishment, the elite. We're about to show you some of the key evidence documenting this. Absolutely central to understand that these bizarre activities have been engaged in going back to 1873. They're not some new fanciful whim of the trendies on the West Coast. By the turn of the century, there was already a 10 to 15-year waiting list. Presidents from Howard Taft to Herbert Hoover were on the membership roster. Not to mention, later, famous war general Dwight D. Eisenhower, later to become president. The roster of the Bohemian Club reads like a who's who of the elite. Look at this photo taken inside the Grove back in 1963. There you'll see Ronald Reagan, and sitting two people over from him, later to become president, Richard Milhouse Nixon. Frankly, we don't know if these actively enjoy the things that go on inside the Bohemian Club. One thing is perfectly certain from the evidence. They are forced to go and attend and take part in these activities if they wish to be elevated to the highest levels of the political power structure. Take George Bush Sr., documented member. And of course, there's his son. Now, the last four generations of Bushes have also attended the Skull and Bones Society at Yale, well known to be steeped in the occult. Then there's Bill Clinton, a frequent attendee. Upon closer inspection, the entire federal government at the highest levels is invested with Bohemian Club members. And it doesn't stop there. America's private run-for-profit Federal Reserve Bank, from its very inception in 19 has been run by prominent members of the club. Central Bank Chairman Alan Greenspan was seen in Grove 1 month before chairman of the Federal Reserve. He had to be a made man to be a member of the most powerful cabal on the planet. Historical records are clear for major universities. The Manhattan Project was planned and run from the Bohemian Club. All of this going on in an atmosphere of bizarre revelry. Looking at an illustration, 1999 issue of Spy magazine. Spy goes undercover with to correct the spying media coverage of the 1980s. Writers speak obvious. Masters of that boy. Back to this, because you can clearly see mantra up as a front by all the local media. Or they're elitist. Sure, they have some bizarre ritual. What's the big? They're just having fun. If that was the case, why would David Gergen, presidential advisor, president, resign from the club and 17 other organizations in 1993? Organizations like the Trilateral Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg Group. But it's not just the Washington Times and the Sacramento. We're looking at an illustration. Raid magazine, February 22nd, was the most accurate, detailing the so-called mock human sacrifice. Former German Helmut hours retrospective goes into great detail about the secret establishment running Trilateral Committee, Bilderberg Group, course, ladies and gentlemen, the Bohemian Grove, often talked about being a wonderful hideaway time with Nelson and David Rockefeller, and talk about world government and steering society. On page 205 of Many Hours, about it being astounding ever visited the United States, and how that feeling died over the years with subsequent goes on for after private government. Going back to the Spy magazine, we have lots of rosy illustrations, drunken establishment types dancing around having fun with the rituals background. Even admit that they wear bizarre Ku Klux Klan style robes. In a photo released by the Grove of the ritual, they talk about the incredible security surrounding the Grove, and they admit that a sacrifice is fake, but it's all in good. Did massive research on the occult, and one of the libraries we visited was that of Professor Tex Mars of Aeronautics. He also has written literally dozens of books on the occult. His library was very revealing about the obsession of elites throughout history with the occult.
Front group after front group. They subvert. But behind all of these groups, there is a small cadre, and what you have done, Bohemian Grove, is you have exposed one of the organizations, whole new order arrangement, I'd say. Of course, we can go back in history, all the way back to ancient Egypt, Babylon, Rome, and I think you're part of the Grove, but particularly Illuminati era, originated French Revolutionary Day. There we had the actual order of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt and all evil philosophers, Voltaire and the others, and that is Hitler, Bohemia, Babylon, history, religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl, symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians, by the Babylonians. And it's interesting to me that many of the members of the Bohemian Grove have in their homes, as I understand it, small figures of owls. And I believe they actually those owls as a symbol of the deity, the great goddess of Babylon. Of course, here again, we have the counterfeit of Christ's sacrifice on the cross. I think all of those things, that there had to be, I believe, an occultist, a deep occultist, design each of the elements of the ceremony. It wasn't just a bunch of guys sit together at a bar and said, hey, let's have a good time, the Cremation of Care, and why don't we do this or that? I believe it was purposely designed, each element in turn, for what they did. No doubt about it.
Slide the metal end into the buckle and adjust by pulling on the loose end of the strap.
After landing in San Francisco at the International Airport, we traveled through the city, across the Golden Gate Bridge into deeper Northern California. Northern California, home to the giant Sequoia redwood. From there north to Santa Rosa, going west on Highway 12. Gateway to Bohemian Grove. We spent the first night in Santa Rosa, getting up early in the morning and traveling into the town of Occidental, where we're going to meet the British media and start our investigation. in Northern California, right outside the Bohemian Grove. Fruits of nature. But I'll tell you this, I don't worship it and sacrifice things to it. Go find out what's going on. Well, here we are, folks. Bring on to the highway and to find out what in the New World Order is going on here. Oh, I tell you, it's beautiful out here during the day, but it is spooky at night. I don't know if you guys got some with all the fog and the rest of it. Oh, yeah. I doubt that. I don't know. I don't know. About that. No, I think.
What about me? Because I'm a woman, I can't really sneak in, can I? I mean, I can. Gotta stay. Yeah. Gotta stay behind in a sticky Occidental lodge.
I have no problem. There's a road. I've been shown a way to insert myself. Hanson. But then I need to know where the Cremation of Care, what day they're supposed to respond.
Tomorrow night at dusk.
I'm not going to end up tied down a pentagram with Henry Kissinger's fat belly hanging over while he's naked with a pentagram. Sure, that's a joke.
Just a thought. It's very...
Oh, like Governor Bush running around in a pink, foaming at the mouth of the purple. Supposedly, I hear that's what they. I don't know.
I think they. Question why?
These power brokers bomb innocent countries and slaughter people, pump the food chain full of garbage and just everything else they do. Probably something fun for them, and they really get off on being bad with them.
And rule the world. I mean, this is for some people. This is room.
Well, I mean, certainly in the whole class system, it's the pleasures of. Now, what class is, power that you have is something different. And to me, I mean, from my research of Bohemian Grove, and you guys have obviously done, I've read a lot of mainstream articles, talked to people, talked to some guests. It's really when people go in there to do whatever they want to do. A lot of people sitting around fishing, and a lot of people sitting around something completely different.
Okay, there's the stage. That's where the talks happen. And they have these talks. Bush gets like that. Stage. Oh no, that's the lake. Lakeside talks. There's the lake. There's the shrine. Mm-hmm. Right there. That's where.
Honey, come get a shot of this. Now, where's this river? Yeah. Now, see, here's the shrine of the devil owl. They even admit has Babylon all over the world. Owl shows. Some cultures they've thrown children inside the bowels of this. That's historical. Paul read in the Bible about children idols. And their bias behavior is definitely investigated. Plus, it gets the adrenaline out. Thrill seekers have to have more. Here you go, honey. Right here, the shrine. And on that, Mike. I'm saying honey to my girlfriend Violet, not Mike here. We're getting real bohemian now, aren't we? This is a shot right here. But it did sound like that she's definitely leftward leaning. Then we get into the whole semantical debate about is there a left and a right, and to me there really isn't. There's command and control on one end and anarchy on the other, and I want to be in the middle of the real spectrum. Certainly got to have some control in a complex society and civilization, but all the developments I see are pretty bad towards dehumanization. And now you got the UN demanding everybody sign on to this International Criminal Court. And they're telling the U.S. if we don't sign on, it won't matter. If 60 countries ratify, we'll be under its control. I mean, we're here. We're at global government now. When they're saying they're going to have some world court in the Netherlands, anybody they want to. These are the, in fact, I was reading some of the talks that they've given and they've released that the Bohemian Grove was discussed. It's all population control. We're talking 20 years ago. Definitely some stuff going on here that's pretty important. But is it the ultimate? I would imagine those would. This is probably just one more steering committee and a lot of underlings, high-level, the upper top echelon, make them feel important, implement type of strategy. There are stories I've read and things that happen. I mean, it is pretty well documented. Run around naked. They have orgies. Town have orgies, and these are world leaders. Got a serious problem with that. Just by the very nature of how this. Bohemian Grove is probably a way to compromise people. You want to be in the New World Order Club. It's like a big kid fraternity. And just like in fraternities, you have to do things here, you probably do. I got a problem with governors and presidents, ministers, chieftains running around and doing this. When they have so much power of what happens in the public domain, they have a responsibility to disclose what they're doing. It isn't. And some trying to maintain some security way out in the open. They'll call in a bunch of. I hear you. Well, if I got a stink detector, we'll be able to find out where he is. It's like everything evil you can imagine. I'm not a Republican. That's the point I keep making. This Democrat-Republican deal is like people always go back to that. Oh, like in your country, you've got labor and you've got the Tories. It's all the same people behind closed doors. And your leadership, our leadership, it's all the same people. You do see a fight going on. Management team bidding for control. What I call them the CEO jobs of slavery and corporate.
Worry for Alex, Violet.
I do. I just Alex gets so impassioned by what he might be a little reckless or maybe a little bit too careless. I worry about Alex when he drives down the street to come home. You know, especially I used to worry about him when he had to come home every night from the same, radio studio at the same time in the same car. And I worry about him sometimes when he's late getting back in the studio and he doesn't give me a call. I mean, he is putting himself out there, but I think the fact that he's in the public eye as much as he is really, safe to a certain. So maybe something like that. Well, people might not necessarily know where he is right now that listen to the radio. So it's maybe a little bit more, a little creepy at night up here in the woods.
You're definitely not dangerous. You're not going to do anything stupid.
Well, I mean, dangerous to what? Dangerous to myself? Are these people dangerous? They certainly may be, but I'm completely nonviolent when it comes to just going out there and trying to get the information. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm an activist first and foremost, but also a journalist in that I'll make some jokes and speculate occasionally because I'm a radio talk show host. When I say something that I believe, I have to be on target about it. But dangerous, I'm definitely dangerous to corrupt bureaucrats and their financial bosses that would like to control the American people on the planet. Not in a violent way. And long before global government came out in the open, the last 4 or 5 years, they were conditioning the public that anyone that talks about global government, a terrorist, a racist. And now they're out on the nightly news saying global government's here, you better accept it. We're getting juries all across the planet. The IMF, the World Bank, basically runs things now. The WTO decides what you can buy and sell and trade on the international market. See, they've preconditioned us that it doesn't exist. They've preconditioned us that anybody that talks about this stuff and who is against it is a kook or a racist. It doesn't exist. And then everybody's decided, well, I'm going to be culturally cool. I want to be calm. I want to be accepted. So even when they're hearing the news admit it and tell us how great it is, they've already repositioned it psychologically that it's not acceptable. Discussing. I think they're 5 years ago, I would laugh when I heard it. I would say, I'm about taxes, I'm about corruption, I'm about getting local control back, I'm about states' rights, everything's going federal control. I was pretty mainstream, so-called conservative. Then I saw the light when black helicopters started going into North Carolina, into Florida. They fired into an all-night restaurant in Miami, just training, firing bullets into a bunch of people were eating. They started burning buildings. Police chiefs started throwing them out of their town, San Antonio. All this started happening, and I said, whoa, this is real. And then I realized that I was preconditioned, even as a so-called conservative, understood that the media lied. I didn't realize how thick the propaganda was. Preconditioned to be something on that, number one, doesn't exist. In our minds, with classic doublethink, and it can exist at the same time. If they say it doesn't, it's literally George Orwell's doublethink. And one has to have it to stay in this world. I refuse to be a part of it. I mean, the news every day, black helicopters are a joke. They're stupid. The culture, commercials, movies. At the same time, almost every month in this country, they're attacking and terrorizing some town with burning buildings and terror. I don't want to be part of their system. I don't like these generous, inbred, world order. They're not going to run my life. They're not going to control me. I'm going to try to expose it. Oh, look how pretty it is.
Sure is pretty.
Mike, you enjoying yourself?
A lot less spooky during the daytime.
Okay, now we're going to take our British friends down into the forest later tonight. Let them gallivant in the werewolf-ridden woods. Joking. They'll have me on there. Alex Jones, radio talk show host, believes werewolf best. Northern California. They've been seen dancing with Christmas. Small pixies. Even witnessed playing violin for George Bush. I don't know what to make of what's going to happen. I can't even begin to imagine what we're going to discover when I infiltrate tomorrow and try to get Cremation of Care. Very close to the gateway to Bohemian Grove now. First set of gates. Security. A small guard check at the front, and then they larger section. Not a shot of that. Out of it, small guard gate, and then more elaborate guard gate with surveillance cameras. On a through road, ladies and gentlemen, right up here in Northern California. How you doing, sir? Okay. Camp Meeker? Yeah. Oh. Alex Jones, I make documentaries. I'm just curious, what do you think about Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there.
You used to work there?
Yeah.
And now you work at Camp Meeker?
No, I don't work. I live in Camp Meeker.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah.
That's great. Did you ever watch the Cremation of Care?
No.
What'd you do at the...
I just worked there.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
you never saw them march around in the red robes? And
No.
Oh, really? That doesn't go on? What have you guys heard about Bohemian Grove? Have you ever heard about the 40-foot stone owl and the mock human sacrifice?
I heard about it a little bit, yeah.
Roll that window down. We're going
Yeah.
to talk to you. Hold on. We'll go around here.
Oh, yeah?
So what have you heard about the...
Oh, I just read stuff about it in the paper. I don't know. Like it.
But what about the 40-foot stone owl and the mock human sacrifice? You say you heard something about that? Oh, the paper admitted that.
No, I don't know if they just said people go protest it. It supposedly happens. Sounds kind of weird.
Does sound weird to me.
Yeah. Why you guys? What are you guys doing? or something?
We're just having fun.
Oh, yeah.
This town isn't like Children of the Corn or anything, is it?
Oh, no. I don't know, though. Supposedly lots of people go there. Kind of weird. You guys know anything about it?
We told you the sacrifice a human in effigy, mock, 40-foot stone owl in black and red and silver cloaks.
Kind of different.
Do you think it's good to have? Do you think it's good to have so-called world leaders secretly engaging in pagan activities?
I can't say it's that.
Why would you have a problem with that?
I don't know. All right. How you look at it?
Yeah, kind of relativist worldview, huh? Got to sacrifice care to the winds, huh?
I don't know. You run around naked.
Run around naked and freak out. There you go.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, to tell you the truth, here's a funny story.
What have you heard? Okay, go ahead.
No, this is the truth. A couple years ago, I was down the road, just down Yar, past Camp Meeker, and I was stopped with a friend of mine.
Now, Camp Meeker's right outside Bohemian.
That's an affirmative.
Yes.
And we were down the road, and we were stopped there as we were just having a cigarette, hanging out, taking a break, and some Secret Service men actually pulled up behind us. Now, what we were doing. They were like, "What are you guys doing? Where are you at? Why are you parked here? What's going on?" And asked us a whole bunch of questions. What our names were, who we were affiliated with, where we lived, all kinds of stuff. Sort of interrogated us.
Did you answer their questions?
Totally.
I don't know. We always hear there's like big fat rich guys with prostitutes.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the owl and the ritual?
I don't know anything about it.
Ever heard about the rituals?
Ritual.
Ritual killing of a human, sacrifice of a human?
Nope. Never heard of it.
What would you think if that was going on?
I think it's pretty weird. Wouldn't be that surprised. It is our government after all.
Hey, thanks for talking to us, bud.
You know?
Hey, I like your shirt. Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
We're talking about the Bohemian Grove and trying to see what locals think about it. How it's all secret and all these fat cats there and the supposed strange rituals that go on. Are you a local?
Yes.
What do you think about the Bohemian Grove?
It offers a lot of employment.
Offers a lot of employment.
What's going on there? What kind of rituals do they do?
I don't know. We're talking to locals about what the rumors are.
What are the rumors?
About a big 40-foot stone owl and simulated human sacrifice.
Oh, I don't know about that, but it's politicians that come at vacation there. And
It'd be really weird if
that right?
politicians were acting like they were sacrificing people, wouldn't it?
No, you can't trust politicians.
Oh, really? They might be doing it,
No,
huh?
they might, yeah. The politicians, you know.
I hear you, bud. Hey, good talking to you.
All right.
Appreciate it. You guys take care.
Good luck.
Hey, those are some pretty flowers.
It's a sweet.
Those are real, folks.
They're real.
You guys have a good one.
You
Enjoy the
too.
weather
Bye.
area.
Yeah, this area is in trouble.
Yeah, we are.
It's in big trouble.
No, this is a wonderful area of the country. We're just asking locals what they think of the Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove is a wonderful.
You been there?
Yeah, I've been in there a bunch of times.
What'd you do? Work there? Or
Worked there, yeah. If you know when it's the most wonderful time, it's when nobody's there.
Oh, it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, very beautiful. It's got big trees.
Have you ever been there for the Cremation of Care?
No.
Never been there for the rituals.
No.
You ever heard about them?
Yes.
What have you heard they do, sir?
Got that owl.
Tree that looks like an owl?
A rock, it's
It's-
a carving, or where the stage is.
But have you heard what they do during that?
No, I have no idea what.
Would you say if we told you they burn a human effigy? They don't really do it. They burn it in effigy.
I don't know what that.
Well, they have like a dummy that looks like a person under a black blanket. They
Huh?
take it up there and burn it.
No, I don't know.
Pretty weird.
Huh?
Pretty weird.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
How long you lived around here?
I don't know. How old am
20,
I? 40 years?
Really? Oh, your whole life.
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
Raul.
How long's Vital Roots been? A couple years.
The Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of politicians, a lot of big wigs, make a lot of big decisions.
Oh, really? You think it's good that they get together in secret and make all these so-called decisions?
Do I think it's good?
Yeah.
No, of course not. You do?
What about the rituals? Have you heard anything about the rituals?
Oh. Well, there's all kinds of rumors about rituals that go on there.
What type of rumors have you heard?
Don't make me go there.
Please, come on, we're trying to talk to some locals. I'm just wondering. It's interesting.
Well, I really don't know. I've just what I've read. Books out about.
Oh, you've read books on it, huh?
I had a book that was published in 1906 that was written about some of the.
Because now it's been going on for 120 plus years. I think they said they just had their 120th something anniversary. What would you say if I told you that there's a 40-foot stone owl and that they burn a human being in effigy, not in real life, but in effigy?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't believe it?
Nah.
So you doubt there's a stone owl, and you doubt that they...
Well, I wouldn't doubt there's a stone owl. Maybe there's a stone owl, but I wouldn't think that's kind of... rumors just... It's rumors. What the word implies.
Just a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's just...
Pure conspiracy theory.
Whatever.
Bohemian.
It's where all of the like FBI and talking about the Bohemian Grove. Yeah, it's like the quote unquote elite and well, the people who have more money than the rest of us in the world are a bit different. Stingy. They want to hoard it all for them. And they think they're going to go to heaven because they don't know how to provide our.
That's a human in effigy before a giant 45 to 50-foot stone owl.
I would say that's probably why they're going to hell.
Yeah, it's Australian women. There's about 2-3 whole place. It's saturated with men in black, FBI, Secret Service, and everything going up and down the roads, checking everything, checking houses, everything for bombs. And then they all disappeared, and they were out for undesirables in the area who were persuaded to go. That was his story.
And now we're gonna we're gonna infiltrate.
I think we should go and see.
The public has a right to know.
They do.
The public may have a right to know, but people in this cafe, I think, shouldn't know.
I agree.
Well, you've got to go in up the road that says no through road, because we've got to sit in the car and get a shot of you going up the road. So you've got to go in. You've got to be the guinea pig. But you're a brave man, Alex, aren't you?
No problem. Man.
That's cool. I wouldn't ask a man who wants to be brave as you.
All right, it's no big deal. I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna have the right type of baggage.
Well, I personally would provide yourself up with your what's it called? Yeah, your hidden camera that's in the shape of a pager.
Problem is, we got some stuff on last night. We checked it out, but it's very unwieldy, not trustworthy.
Right.
I can just get in the woods with this. It's over.
That's true.
And even if I'm going early now. I'm probably going to hang out inside. In case they throw me out, I'm still getting back in the property.
Oh, so you're gonna go way before it gets here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. We'll just sit in the car.
But I mean, you understand why? Not because I want to hang out in there all day. I've got to get in. That's me. I'm gonna got to sneak back.
Yeah.
I will not be stopped.
You know, I went with Big Jim Tucker from Spotlight to a Bilderberg meeting last year. But that was my first time, and we got chased away by men in dark glasses, and I was a bit scared then. And I feel safe with you, Alex.
Tucker's a good writer.
Oh yeah, I like Tucker.
It was the night of July 5th, 2000. We're about to attempt first ever pro. Others have tried and failed. Ever out with no evidence. After careful planning, we decided the best tactic was to insert ourselves about a half mile from the main entrance into the heavily wooded area, entering the gorge by stealth and getting into the main parking area. There we posed as a club, thus inner sanctums of the New World. No, I got it. Yeah. Pray for us. Keep the evil. Up there.
that Marty thing was like.